And we are back with a brand new episode brought to you by Sam Larson Studio, and today we're going to be going back over turtles, tortoises, etc. We went over the basic idea of how to draw a turtle yesterday, and it's basically tossing together some semicircles, put a hexagon pattern on its back, give it a snake-like neck and head, and give it a few rectangles for the feet, and you're basically there. Why are we talking about this a little bit more? There are other things that we can add to turtles that I think are worth mentioning, alright? So in the case of the Super Mario Bros. Games, initially when they had Koopas, they had like this really weird long neck creature design, but was still identifiable as being a turtle. So I think that's important to note. We don't have to make this exactly like those designs, but we can show how this can still be identified as a turtle character. Alright, so semicircle. And we gotta make sure that there's space for his head to be in there. We're gonna show a couple little spots for where his legs will be. And again, we've got a nice turtle from that. So you can play around with this a little bit. You can just try things out and see what happens. And he's one that I gave a little bit of a different face to. I'm giving him a little bit different of a body. I'm approaching the back a little bit differently. But again, he's still recognizable as being a turtle. So play around with the traits and see what you can do with them. In this case, I looked up some reference images beforehand, and I thought about them a little bit and how else I could draw a turtle. And you might end up doing something more with the Master Oogway approach from Kung Fu Panda, where you have this older looking turtle, and you've got like these little fingers attached to him. This isn't going to be perfect because I wasn't fully referencing Master Oogway for it, but just another approach and adding wrinkles to the neck and making it so he's more of an older character. And then having that little bit of that beak to him. And then maybe we can add some glasses to him. Because why not? And then it's your call whether to add glasses, and if you want to add the eye behind them, and we can also make him look a little bit older by adding these little eye lines underneath. Could even make it so the eyebrows cause his head to bump out a little bit. But it's a different kind of approach, but it still is going to end up using the same kind of aspects. Give him that little tunnel for his head to go into, and make sure he has that lined belly. But you can use different kinds of approaches and different kinds of shapes, and you can still represent a turtle, alright? Very little turtle on top of a really big turtle. Again, this is where you have the chance to play around, and you can try things out. What do you want to do with your turtle design? Do you want him to have big legs, or do you want him to have little legs? How big do you want his tail to be? How tall do you want the shell to be? This is why I said we separate the semicircles instead of focusing on making it a full circle shape for a turtle. Now we've got a cute turtle with a really long shell. You can also play around with making it so it's a giant shell. And the turtle has a very tiny head. Again, this is a fun way to play around with proportions and just kind of see what happens with them. Does he have tiny feet that barely reach the ground? Or you can make it so his stomach ends up being bigger. I'm not going to draw that right now. But I just want to show you that there are some other options for it. I want you to keep in mind, how else could I draw my character? How else could I draw a turtle? How else could I draw aliens? What do you want to come up with? What would make this drawing fun for you? How can I exaggerate it? How can I change things up? If you want to, give him a square shell. See what happens with that. What else can you come up with? It could be just a snake imitating a turtle by wearing a box. Maybe we'll try drawing that sometime soon. Anyways, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next episode.